This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by Encompass Health, Rehabilitation Hospital of New England, and North Shore Community College. If you have the will to attend college, we have the way for you to earn your degree.
Good morning and welcome to LCTV News. I'm Dani Vittori, and this week was full of celebrations and unveilings. The Lowdown had a crew of guests to discuss the Summer Arts Festival on August 12th, which has doubled in size since its inception last year. Additionally, Chris Mancini from Save the Harbor, Save the Bay dropped by for a visit focused on cleaning the beaches and summer events. Here is the news for Friday, July 28th, 2023. A $2.2 million project funded by a MassWorks grant is set to begin in early August on the Lynnway. The end result will give southbound drivers the option to turn directly onto Blossom Street Extension, as northbound drivers gain the ability to turn left onto Boston Street. New traffic lights will be installed and the median will be removed, so drivers will no longer have to go past the location and make a U-turn to access the ferry terminal. This will provide an additional place for pedestrians to cross the busy intersection, as well as opening up another option for drivers traveling west towards downtown Lynn and increasing access to Lynn's waterfront, as a $13 million redo of Heritage Park is also in the works. Last Thursday, the 20th, Recovery Exchange had its grand opening. Run and opened by Spectrum Health Services, it is a peer support center where people in recovery can help and learn from each other. Everyone working there is in recovery themselves, and they encourage members to build their own individual and community network. Here's more from the event.
June of last year, the first thing was to get Lynn Center open. It was a very easy job for me because I connected to the recovery community.
Well, it's great to see this space being utilized for something as important as this. There's no one in this room that hasn't been touched by somebody that needs these types of services. And I know a lot of people in this room have been advocating for a place like this for a really long time, and as you can see by the outpouring of support, members of the community, elected people, everybody here, this is a great thing, and it's great to see that this spot is finally being used, especially for something as important as this.
It's really been such a relief and such a joy to have this as the thing I get up to every morning. You know, my purpose, my job, and my passion all wrapped up into one. I couldn't ask for a better job to come to at 60 and grow old to a retirement age.
Being hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to the Recovery Exchange in recognition of the grand opening of your Recovery Center. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope of future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. Signed by myself, Representative Cahill, the Speaker of the House, Ron Mariano. Yeah. Thank you.
The City of Lynn has installed 75 Big Belly barrels at 27 parks as part of an initiative to reduce waste and keep Lynn clean. They also feature art from 21 students, which was selected to highlight creativity in Lynn. The barrels themselves were purchased using ARPA funds and come with solar-powered compactors and sensors to alert waste pickup when full. This is all part of a commitment to environmental justice and managing the trash problem in the city. There was a Keolis Scholarship recipient celebration in the City Council chambers on the 25th. 5 Lynn students were selected to receive $1,000 and an iPad in recognition of their academic accomplishments. Here's a clip from the event.
It's the 8th year of Keolis Scholarship Awards. We do that, it's the 8th year today. So basically we select 25 students coming from Brockton, Lynn, Boston, 5 in each one of the town. And thanks to the school's administration, we can select them. And I think if you are here, it's because you have been selected. So because of the journey you have taken, the seriousness of the work you're willing to do, and your future. We are here to basically celebrate you. You are the future. You are the future leaders.
But I can say with confidence that I would not be here, standing here today, without the wonderful teachers, coaches, administrators, and support teams from the Lynn Public Schools. So thank you for all that you do, and for the students and families. Incredible odds and challenges over the last few years. Everything, all the distractions and all of the issues going on in the world certainly made it so much harder for you to achieve such academic success. But as Abdullah said, we are very excited to keep you here in Lynn, to keep you here in Massachusetts. Certainly need your smarts and your talent in our workforce desperately.
Most of all, I'd like to congratulate the students and their families, their support system, for your amazing work to get you here and all that you're going to do to make the city of Lynn proud.
The Affordable Housing Trust Fund approved $75,000 of funding for a 5-story building with 30 to 40 apartments, a common space, offices, and storage. This will be low-income housing, with priority being given to those struggling with addiction, as well as domestic violence and human trafficking survivors. The project was proposed by the Commonwealth Land Trust and Massachusetts Coalition for the Homeless, focused on serving those who are homeless or earn less than 50% of the area median income. It is currently in the pre-development phase and has garnered support from several Board of Trustees members. The building itself is set to be completed by June of 2026. The Lynn Disability Group and Caring Heart Support Group held an ADA 33rd anniversary celebration at City Hall. Several speakers shared the importance of the law as well as their own personal stories. Here is more.
On behalf of the Lynn Disability Network and the Caring Heart Special Rights Support Group, we welcome you to this celebration of the 33rd anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. This landmark legislation ensures that our fellow humans with disabilities can access public spaces and provides legal protections to those in working and school environments.
Thank you to the Lynn Disability Network for helping us mark this very important anniversary. We are committed to doing everything we can to include all of our residents in the amazing community we have in the city of Lynn and its future trajectory. A really important part of inclusion is accessibility and compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. Trying to make investments in making our parks more accessible and making our public buildings more accessible and making sure that we're including this community in our thinking and planning, from everything from education to economic development.
We all know people with disabilities. Todos conocemos a personas con discapacidades. In fact, in Lynn alone, incluso aquí en Lynn, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, over 10% of people in Lynn have a disability. I am completely blind. I have had a kidney transplant. I was on dialysis for 5.5 years. But just because I can't see you smile doesn't mean I can't make you smile. I may not have sight, but I have a vision for life. But today I remember somebody else. One of them is Martin Luther King Jr. I have a dream. I am here to tell you that I also have a dream. And not just a dream, but a vision. A vision for Lynn to be more accessible.
By this time last year, there were 31 deaths caused by opioid overdoses. This year, that number is 13, for a 58% decrease, putting the city on pace for the lowest amount of opioid-related deaths since 2013. Lynn is taking steps to continue this trend, including launching the Opiate Abatement Fund's working group, comprised of individuals with knowledge in substance use disorders and harm reduction from several organizations. They have made recommendations spanning from addressing urgent needs to longer-term solutions. One of those longer goals is to install a harm reduction vending machine stocked with Narcan, COVID tests, hygiene kits, and other health-related products, all free to the public. Additionally, the city is planning to purchase and install 5 Naxxon boxes as another way to distribute Narcan to those who need it. This is in addition to the Community Harm Reduction and Wellness Accessibility Initiative, which focuses on the immediate need of access to Narcan and other harm reduction materials. We have a special treat for you this week with a PSA made by one of our co-op students, Red B, about how to properly care for a cat. Take a look.
A safe, clean home for your cat will help them feel like they belong, and they will treat you properly. A dirty home may cause your cat to hide. Clean food and water is important for your pet. Give your pet clean resources like how you would want your food and water to be. Your cat needs a comfortable place to use a litter box. Having 2 or more for your cat gives them options and makes them feel safe. If your cat doesn't have a clean litter box to go in, they will start looking for a cleaner place to use the bathroom. Most cats love to be entertained and will do a lot for your attention. They love to play and spend times with their owners. If you're frustrated with your cat, don't hurt them. They don't know why you hurt them. You will lose their trust, or if it's constant, there might be a medical issue. Giving your cat time with you can make them feel comfortable. You might possibly make a new best friend.
Yesterday, the 27th, the 2023 election page on lyntv.org went live. This includes voter information, including a map of voting locations in every ward, candidate profiles, and dates for forums coming up in August and October. Additionally, all candidates were invited to come in and film a 5 to 6 minute video explaining their platform and why they are running. The videos and links to them are available through this page as well. The Food Project had another Central Square Farmers Market, with people lining up around the block to purchase locally sourced produce. Take a look.
So we are at Lynn's Farmer Market down in Central Square. We have a summer schedule running every Thursday, 11 to 3. Summer schedule will end on November 16th.
So we're also here with a few different vendors, Paulo's Produce, Farmer Dave's, Riverdale Farm, and then also the Food Project's farm, which is local here in Lynn.
All vendors take payments such as SNAP, WIC, card, cash, and WIC coupons and senior coupons.
Something we really want to emphasize about this farmers market is that it really is a community space for non-residents and residents of Lynn to come together. So we do have a lot of activities for kids and then also live music, and you can leave with some fresh produce.
First up on the lowdown were members from 5 of the sites for this year's Arts and Culture Festival. They laid out a general schedule for the day and what activities have been added or brought back. Here's the lowdown. Good afternoon and welcome to the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Dani Vittori, and today we have a full set as we're talking about the 2023 Lynn Arts and Culture Festival. I want to thank all of you for taking the time to come on.
Thank you.
So I guess, Sunil, we'll start with you because you said you're going to do a quick intro. So.
Sure. My name is Sunil Gulab. I'm part of the Creative Cities grant here in Lynn. And we're here to talk about this amazing opportunity for all of Lynners. And, you know, we have all of the superstars of Lynn here who have come together to put together an amazing festival.
So, and then we'll keep going. I think Ralph wanted to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Ralph. I am the president of North Shore Asian Association in Lynn. So I'm very excited to be here to talk about what we got going on.
I'm Annette Sykes, and I am the founder and director of GALA, Galleries at Lynn Arts.
My name is Cinda, and I am a board member of Lynn Main Streets.
Fantastic. And you got your little...
And this is Emery, an honorary board member of Lynn Main Streets.
Yeah.
And the cutest one here.
Yeah.
So you have multiple festivals happening. It's from 10 to 6 p.m. and then there's the additional time later in the night that I know you'll be talking about as well. So I guess Sunil said you'll start with what Creative Cities is doing.
Yeah. So this is actually a goal of Creative Cities. It's not being run by Creative Cities, even though I'm a part of it. This is has a different funding and all. However, this is the way forward, I think, for all of the different organizations in Lynn to come together. Having said that, the strengths of this city are amazing. It's colorful, it's diverse, it's alive, and it's also a blank canvas, so we're writing on it. And you know, all of these people here are superstars because we're bringing color to the city. And we hope that people in the city will take advantage of that. We really want to put Lynn on the map as a center for the arts and culture. I'm going to start off by talking about what's happening at Goldfish Pond. So Goldfish Pond is about a 5-acre park. Most of Lynn, if not all of Lynn, knows it as like this oasis in the middle of the city. And last year we had 35 artisans, 35 tents selling handmade, homemade items, and it went really well. Not only did we have the artisans, but we also had live music. We had free ice cream for everybody. We had a beer garden in the back. And it was a family day, so we had all of these events for kids throughout the day, including free face painting, a magician, a balloon artist, art class, and that's just to mention a few. It kept going, and a lot of the people said, you know, I'm talking about the artisans who came from other cities in the North Shore to sell, you know, they would say, this is the prettiest art festival we've ever been to, and rightfully so. I mean, Goldfish Pond is, you know, Lynn is, it could come out of a fairy tale. So this year we have a high bar to beat, and I think we're going to do it.
Because it's double the size now,
Yes.
and that includes partially the Haitian festival that you're helping run.
Yeah. This year would be the second year we're doing it, but this is the first year that it's got this Main Street media view and everything. What I wanted to say about this is, this event is about bringing the culture, like the full experience of the Haitian culture. We'll have music and also food and stuff like that. Like Sunil was saying, Lynn is a pretty good location for me to have that type of event. People are pretty aware of the art revolution that's happening in Lynn right now. So, like I say, pretty excited, and we have a beautiful culture. We just want to showcase it that day.
And the festival for you, it runs a little bit longer than the rest of them, correct?
Yes, it goes until 11 p.m. Yeah, it goes until 11 p.m. So basically, everything will be available until 11 p.m.
So basically, when some of the other sites close, which will be at 6 p.m., we will then funnel everyone to the party on Union Street.
Yeah, also the location will be in 292 Essex Street. So it starts at 11 a.m. till 11 p.m. So we have a whole day of program going on. So like Sunil was saying, whenever the other parties are over, there's still the Haitian left. You can come and kick with us. All right.
That sounds fantastic. And we'll hop over to that you are doing a lot of things around Gala.
Yes, Gala is kind of the instigator, but I think everybody in the downtown Lynn Cultural District is kind of looking at what they have, what we have, and saying, gee, how can we activate the downtown Lynn Cultural District? Gala is going to have from 10 to 11 our member artists. A few of them are coming in and doing some drawing, and we'll have some empty easels as we have for our final Fridays the last few months. And we'll have some still lifes and maybe some people set up to draw. And our empty easels are there for visitors to pick up some of the art supplies that we'll have set up for you to attempt to draw your own masterpiece to take home. And we're putting together a mocktail bar in Gala, and so there'll be things for the kids to draw, there'll be things for kids and adults to drink, and some music, and some of our partners in downtown Lynn. For example, we were just talking about Raw Arts.
Is going to have a Lego building
We'll have Lego
table
building.
for kids.
And Beyond Walls is going to do two or three?
Two mural tours.
Yep.
Yep. And Michelle Guzman is going to do historic walks of downtown Lynn.
And at 6 o'clock, our friends from the Lynn Music Foundation, they're also in the Lynn Arts Building, is going to do an art battle.
And if anyone has not heard of an art battle, it is so exciting. It's about local artisans basically competing against each other, and the crowd votes with their phone on who goes to the next round. So it's fierce, it's fun, it's exciting. It's a perfect way to end a day like this as well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's your competition, but both are just so much fun.
Yeah, everything. It is. It sounds like so much fun, so many things. And what else did you...
And then I'm going to pass it over to you, because you know what's going on at the Lynn Museum, right?
I don't.
Do you?
Oh, well,
No?
the Lynn Museum is going to be open. The Lynn Museum is going to be open. People get to see the exhibit or walk to see, but you can walk around. Cindy is going to be doing something there. However, the Lynn Museum is also going to be participating at Red Rock Park, which I will talk about in a second. Yeah. But Cinda.
Yeah, this is all you about Lynn Main Streets, correct?
Yeah. So Lynn Main Streets, I'm really excited for this part. So there will be a trolley, and one of the stops will be at High Rock Observatory. And if you haven't had a chance to go inside High Rock Tower and check out the telescope, that's gonna be one of the stops. And like myself, I'm excited to even stop by and see it really quick in the morning. So that's one of the events that's happening. That Lynn Main Streets will be tabling at. And another thing that I am doing along with partnership with the Lynn Museum and Lynn Main Streets is build your own clay earrings. So I make polymer clay earrings, and so I'm using pre-baked pieces. I've been baking and sanding all these pieces for folks to kind of put together and design their own. And so I'll be there from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Lynn Museum, guiding folks on how to drill holes and use jump rings and put it together. So it'll be fun.
Fun.
So I'm surrounded by artists now and all these creative people. I'm excited.
So the one thing that binds us all together, or two things actually this year, is 2 free trolleys that take people from location to location to location. And I think this is very unique for Lynn. We're activating the entire city basically. So the idea is that everyone has a following. Goldfish Pond does, Gala does. Red Rock Park, which I will talk about in a second, will also have their following, and we want everyone to go from location to location to location. And the trolley's free, and we are trying to get live music on it, and it's just fun. Last year it was full the entire time, so this time we've got 2 trolleys. But if I can then talk a little bit about Red Rock Park, we have the Diversity Matters Festival there, which is North Shore Juneteenth and Nicole McLean's group Unfortunately, they weren't able to come here. So that's going to have local entrepreneurs. It's going to have 10 food trucks or people who cater, local businesses who cater. So that's basically the lunch spot. You can go there for, a wide range of different kinds of food. There will be different kinds of entertainment. They'll have a stage with spoken word, music, dance, as well as more artisans, intent selling, local entrepreneurs selling what they have made. And then on top of that, the last stop is Bentwater Brewing Company. Unfortunately, they weren't able to make it here too. That will be stop number 6 on the trolley, and they will have brewery walks, beer tastings, live music, and outdoor games for kids. It's also a fun stop. And then the trolley brings you all the way back. I measured it, it's about a 30-minute round trip, so you're looking at 2 trolleys going around Lynn every 30 minutes, so every 15 minutes a trolley will come and pick you up. So we encourage everyone to go to all of the locations, taste every aspect of Lynn. They're all different. It's just going to be a fun day. And there's going to be music and dance in, right now live music is Bentwater, Red Rock Park, and Goldfish Pond, and the Haitian Festival.
Yes, sir.
We're going to have something in Gala. I
There
don't
you
know
go.
what it is
So,
yet. But
yeah, and as
something
people
weird.
are adding, and we love weird. So as people are adding weird, I'm trying to accommodate. So there's going to be more than what we're talking about now. There's still, 3.5 weeks to go.
You can't spill all the beans.
Well, that too. But we basically want. This is a platform for all groups in Lynn to showcase what Lynn has to offer, and there's a lot there, and it's colorful. So, yeah.
Oh, yes. I'm excited to see it. I remember I went last year, now it's double the size.
Right.
It's like, if you say you can't find something you like, then I don't know what to do, because it's just everything.
Right. Last year was fun. It really was fun, but we were all learning, and we're still learning, but it's about double this year.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to say this on TV, we're going to outdo some of our neighboring towns. That's the goal. We want Lynn on the map. So
You're definitely getting it. There are all these phenomenal events, phenomenal things, and said, you make my job easy. You just talk about all these incredible things, and I get to go, yes, I want to go to all this, and I want to do this.
Yeah.
But
and also, so the one thing too is we've been fundraising. So we don't want it to hurt anyone's pocket. So a kid in a rich town gets his mom and dad to go and buy him ice cream. We're going to provide free ice cream because we don't want any kid in Lynn to say, hey, there's ice cream, but I can't afford it. So there's going to be free ice cream somewhere. And our face painting is going to be free, and the art class is going to be free. There's a lot of free stuff. And we fundraised for it just because, a kid should be a kid anywhere.
everyone should be able to enjoy it,
right?
Less of anything else. And we've covered it so much in a short period of time, but I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. Was there anything else that any of you wanted to mention, or any events or anything before I wrap it up?
Speaking of free, building your own earrings is also free. You just come in. The museum and Lynn Main Streets have come together to sponsor it, so.
Fantastic.
Well, I don't think I needed to mention it, but we are free as well.
So also, the Haitian Association was a grant award winner. So their proposal was so amazing that you were one of 2 winners from the Lynnspire grant.
Yeah, we were.
We really appreciate what you're doing for the city. Yep.
We appreciate of the city taking even, paying attention to what we're doing and stuff of that nature. But one little quick thing I just wanted to say about our event is the reason we try to do it is there is an influx of Haitians in Lynn, and they all scattered around. So that event is a day of bringing everybody together, and also where we can start impacting within Lynn, especially culturally and things of that nature.
Definitely. You said arts, culture, you have everything. And I want to thank you all so much again for coming on to talk about it, spread the message, and I'll be excited to see how it goes.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. And once again, my name is Dani Vittori. This has been the Lynn Lowdown, and we'll see you next week with more guests. Up next, the sports update. In Lynnwood's summer cross country, runners from across the state came to compete in 3 races. In the Steel Tower race, 6 Lynners placed in the top 10, with the highest in 3rd. For the kids race, 4 Lynners recorded top 10 times, with 3 placing in the 4.8-mile Tour de Lynn Woods. The Northeast 7v7 East Regional Football Contest was hosted by Bishop Fenwick this past weekend. It is a marathon event as 40 teams competed to capture one of 16 spots in the knockout bracket before battling for the title and a trip to the coveted New England Championship. In the end, St. Mary's came out on top, winning their final game against Saugus at the buzzer on a perfect throw to Tyler Guy in the end zone. Kip lost in the round of 8 to Nauset 22-16, while English Classical and Tech did not make it to the bracket round. At 18-23, the 3rd place Navigators are skidding, having lost their last 4 games. The Navs are now 11 games behind the division-leading Newport Gulls. In the All-Star game, Jake Berger hit a solo shot in the 8th to score the East's only run in a 5-1 loss. The 5 other Navs players all appeared in the game, as well as Henry Kasmer and Evan Griffiths, earning the starting nod, being voted in by managers within the division. This was followed by doubleheader losses 3-2 and 2-0 to Mystic. The Red Sox continue to battle for the final wildcard seed, taking 2 of 3 against the New York Mets at home. They then upset the best team in baseball, the 64-36 Atlanta Braves, sweeping the 2-game series 7-1 and 5-3. On the 25th, the Braves struck first, but were unable to score again after the first inning. It was a wild game, which had 2 double plays by the Sox, one which required a 5-minute review to confirm, and a bizarre 8-3-5 triple play by Atlanta. Brian Bayo had another strong performance on the 26th, going 6 innings, with the 3 runs scored against him coming on a 3-run shot in the 6th. 3 different Red Sox homered, with Justin Turner hitting a 2-run RBI double for the go-ahead run in the 7th. They had the best record in baseball for the month of July, 14-5, as well as the highest OPS. At 55-47, Boston has sole possession of 4th place in the AL East, 1 game ahead of the Yankees, and are 1.5 games out of the last wild card spot behind another division rival, the Toronto Blue Jays. The Celtics and Jaylen Brown have agreed to a $304 million 5-year Supermax extension. This is the richest contract in NBA history. Brown was eligible for a contract extension on July 1st, but it took the 2 sides almost a month to come to this agreement. He earned all NBA honors this past season, making him eligible for a Supermax extension. Next up on the lowdown was the executive director of Save the Harbor, Save the Bay. He laid out their summer plans, as well as steps being taken to clean up Kings Beach. Here is the second lowdown. Hello and welcome back to the Lynn Lowdown. Today we have on a special guest. We have Chris Mancini from Save the Harbor, Save the Bay. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey Dani, thanks for having me.
Great. So I already introduced you a little bit.
Yeah.
But can you just give us a quick overview of who you work for?
Yeah, I'm the executive director of Save the Harbor, Save the Bay, organization founded in 1986 to really lead the cleanup of Boston Harbor. And that was a big win, actually. We went from having an environmental disaster to now some of the cleanest urban beaches in the country as a result of that effort. And we can thank the Deer Island Sewage Treatment Plant and all the effort of thousands of folks for working on that and getting pipes off beaches. And while that job is mostly done, we're going to talk about some areas where it may not quite be done yet.
Mm-hmm. The organization and you've done quite a bit of very impressive work, and you had won longtime president before you took over as well, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. So this organization's been around a lot longer than I have, and it's one of the reasons I wanted to come work here was just to seeing all the work that they do. And I started as the vice president of operations under Patty Foley, who, from South Boston, really led that cleanup and turned the South Boston beaches into some of the cleanest urban beaches in the country. So I like to say I'm a recent transplant to Swampscott, and as we're about to talk about, Kings Beach is the one beach in the Commonwealth, officially this year the dirtiest beach in the Commonwealth. So my hope is that I can be a resident of the North Shore and really help lead that to a place that matches the other beaches we have here in the Bay State.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And you just mentioned Kings Beach, the water quality report card, as you said, just came out. And there's been a lot of improvements, as you said, in a lot of other beaches. That just doesn't have to be one of them.
Right. When you look at our water quality report card, which just came out, you can find it on our website, and most of the beaches in the region, and Save the Harbor focuses on, we say, Nahant to Nantasket. That includes, if you start at the tip of Nahant, comes around to Kings Beach and Lynn, then goes all the way down the coast, the state beaches in that area. Most of them continue to perform quite well. You get a lot of beaches, especially, like I said, in South Boston, that get 100% rating. You can swim there every day of the year. And that's a far cry from when we used to have to cancel events because it rained a little bit and then wash all the sewage and stormwater out. But Kings Beach continues to lag behind. We know the reason. We know that it's at the mouth of Stacy's Brook, which is that very attractive looking creek that flows across Kings Beach at the Lynn-Swampscott border. And 100 years ago was integrated into the sewer and stormwater system here, which made sense 100 years ago. You had this big ocean, you could dilute all this stuff. Not that many people were living here, maybe. And then 20 years ago, they separated the sewer out from the stormwater, which is a huge improvement. We've seen a huge improvement from then. But we can't quite figure out where the final pieces of contamination are coming from, and it's been really nice to see in the last 4 years, the town of Swampscott, the city of Lynn really working together and collaborating with the folks at the state level, the Lynn delegation, to problem solve and figure this out. And so, fingers crossed, as they do that systematic work and go up the pipes, they actually find the culprit and we can just call it a day. But in the meantime, we're looking at alternative solutions that a lot of people may have seen on our social media and seen online. And there's a lot of discussion, I know, on some of the social media platforms about this, which is great to see people paying attention to it. So we're looking at some alternative solutions, talking with DEP and the EPA about what's a possibility. And meanwhile, continuing to go up those pipes and see if you can find the cracks and the illicit connections.
And I'm probably going to get this wrong, but UV disinfection, there's a specific kind that was determined that could potentially be the best. It wouldn't fix the problem, but it would help treat the water that's in there.
Right.
Maybe.
Short of finding the source of the contamination, any other solution is not a full solution, right? But it is, the goal being, can we get this beach open, right? You got a mile of beach, premium beach. You can walk to it from most of Lynn. People use it all the time, use the boardwalk especially. But why not be able to swim there? And right now we know people do swim there. We know that the brook looks like a really fun place to play, and I know I would, but before I knew it was full of contamination pretty much every day of the year. The steering committee came together and really tried to look at what's going to be balanced, like environmentally friendly, fiscally responsible, and be able to turn that beach around in as short a timeline as we could. So they looked at 6 different possibilities. And actually, we have another website that I forgot to tell you about, but kingsbeachma.com is all about just Kings Beach. We post all the updated steering committee meetings, all the select board and Lynn's city council meetings where people talk about this issue. So you can go there and get some of this more detailed information. Mm-hmm. But the one that the steering committee came to was can we disinfect it with a UV plant? It's not overly large. You can put it near the mouth. And there's been examples of it working down in Newport, Rhode Island to improve water quality. It's a really strong idea. Again, there's still conversations happening with the state to figure out what the realistic possibilities are. But we're really hoping to partner to find funding or partial funding, and hopefully in a couple of years we'll all be swimming at Kings Beach.
And you said it's made a huge step that now everyone's working together. You got town, city, and the state all talking to each other and saying what are reasonable and realistic things we can do.
Yeah, exactly. And both the town of Swampscott and the city of Lynn have hired incredible engineering companies, some of the top in the nation, to do the work. So Swampscott's been lining their pipes, which were really old and cracked, and so you had the sewer lines were cracked and leaking into the stormwater, which was going to the beach. In Lynn, you've got this really extensive system where you've maybe got old connections from 100 years ago even, and trying to find those and move them to the right pipe so that they're not continuing to contaminate. But it's a painstaking, incremental process where, picture it, you've got this spider web of pipes, and you got to start at one end, take a sample. Is it bad? It's bad. Let's go up a couple to the next manhole. Okay, it's still bad. So as soon as you get a good reading, go, okay, well now I know it's somewhere down here. And then you got to go up the sides and find it, and eventually narrow it down to maybe one building or one crack.
One of the world's largest scavenger hunts.
It's a really disgusting scavenger hunt. That's a great way to put it.
But as like you said though, Lynn and Nahant both have prime beaches, and in addition to helping clean them, you also said there's many events that are hosted there that can be really fun.
Yeah, once Save the Harbor, really felt like most of the harbor was clean. We started seeing these really great numbers on most of the beaches. There was a discussion back in the 90s or 2000s, I want to say, from the stories I'm told, that it's well, should we just wrap it up and call it a day? And the organization and the board decided, you know what, now that we've got clean water, let's invest in these areas and let's connect people to it. Because even to this day, you have people who don't realize these are some of the cleanest urban beaches. So we partner with the state of Massachusetts. We run an annual fundraiser called the Shamrock Splash every March. We jump into the harbor down in South Boston or East Boston usually. Some people do it on their own up here and in Winthrop and Revere. And we raise a bunch of money. The state gives us a lot of money as well. And then we put that out as grants. And this year we gave out 92 grants to organizations, again from Nahant and Nantasket, including about 10 groups up here in Lynn and Nahant. And you can find something free. These are all for free events for the public. So you can now find, as a result of this program, something free to do on one of these beaches almost every day of the summer. I know this weekend is going to be a really busy one. There was concerts in Red Rock Park with the fireworks. Later on in the summer, there's going to be the Diversity Matters Festival with the North Shore Juneteenth Association. There's art festivals. There's workout classes. There's a painting class that's really fun. Is I think our second or third year doing that. You can just come down and you'll get a free painting class on the beach. It's called plein air painting. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. The Lynn Shore Showdown that Mayor Nicholson started before he was the mayor. They do that over in Nahant. So yeah, again, it all comes back to savetheharbor.org. You can find the calendar. You can look at all those dates, put it on your calendar, and get down to the beach or Red Rock Park or Nahant Beach.
Oh yeah, you have a huge calendar of events, but I've gotten to a few of them before. They're fun. They're just so fun.
Yeah.
And they're a great way to get the community involved and remembering that we have all of these really nice, clean beaches.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's got the flip side up here for Kings Beach, right? Which is we still want to get people onto the beach, maybe not in the water on those dirty days, but at least it'll get people sort of appreciating and realizing and continuing to build that momentum and that crowd that really wants to see that problem solved.
And you said, even yourself, you're a bit of a transplant to this area, and you can see all the value and all the potential here.
Yeah, I chose to move here. I chose to move to the dirtiest beach in the Commonwealth because, again, it's still a great waterfront, and I think there's work to be done.
Well, I said, so far, your organization and so many are doing really fantastic work on it.
Thank you.
You see you every day going out there doing things.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, we try to do some cleanups as well with some businesses and the city and the town, and I know a lot of other people are doing that on their own. So we're not the only ones. We just really care about this place.
It's a beautiful place to care about for sure.
Yeah.
And before I wrap everything up, is there anything else that I didn't ask you or anything else you wanted to mention?
I just really hope people will check out that calendar and come out to Red Rock Park, go down to Nahant Beach, look for a painting class, and spend some time down there.
Well,
And stay out of Stacy's Brook.
yes, even though it looks fun. Don't do
looks fun. What do they call it in legalese? Is an attractive nuisance. It's like, oh, I want to play in that. Oh no, wait.
Stay out of that, but come to all the other fun events.
Yes, yes.
Great. Well, thank you again for coming on.
Thanks, Dani. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, always. Thank you. And once again, this has been the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Dani Vittori, and we'll see you next week with more guests. Now, the community calendar. Life Care Center of the North Shore is hosting a community blood drive on Tuesday, August 1st from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Taking place in the main dining room of 111 Birch Street. Come to donate and provide the vital gift of blood. Tuesday, August 1st, Mayor Nicholson, in collaboration with the local and state delegations, is hosting a Broadway project meeting. Taking place at the Grace United Methodist Church of Lynn, 374 Broadway at 6 p.m., residents are invited to come and learn more about the improvement project. This will include the project timeline and next steps. The Lynn Public Library hosts events for all ages, from birth to adulthood, with additional events for families. Next Friday the 4th, on the outside lawn, there will be flying high dogs for kids and families to enjoy. Dogs trained in catching frisbees will put on a show and display their skills for the audience. If you are interested, call the library to register for the program. That brings us to the end of the news for this week. For more on these events and all those in our community calendar, go to lyntv.org. Also, follow us on social media at Lynn Community Television for updates, press releases, and promos. And go to Lynn Community Television on YouTube for videos, PSAs, and all other staff and member content. I will be on vacation next week, but we will be back in 2 weeks. I'm Dani Vittori, and this is LCTV News.